Hello and welcome back to the channel. You join me on episode 2 of riding the entire world. Right now I'm in the north of France, right on the beach side, in a place called Plage de Count. I think I'm probably got that massively wrong, but let's make the sort of intro to this video, everything about it, seriously epic to start the day. So cue the intro.
This adventure is supported by Ashworth Automotive in Weston-super-Mare, the #1 garage keeping you and Helmet Head on the road.
Well, what a way to start an episode. We are here in France on the north side. We've got to head south and we've got to do quite a lot of miles. The aim is obviously to get to the Pyrenees, but we're going to do around about 200 to 250 miles today is the plan. But it's early in the morning, so the first things first we need to do is go and get the first French coffee while we're here. I'll show you where we are on the map. I've done a Google search to find the coffee shop as well, so we're just going to head to there, grab a coffee, and then after that try and hack down some serious miles and see what we can find. So we are here in France on the Bolognese that sounds like a pasta sauce, and what I've done is I've just put coffee in on Google Maps and it's come up with a place that according to Google Maps looks like someone's house. But my plan is to do 4.9 kilometers, grab the morning coffee, get a pan of chocolate if that's the case. If not, I'm more than likely just going to get on the road and find a services or a petrol station or whatever there is to grab a drink. Anyway, on the road. Well, let's see what this cafe is. I love Google Maps. You put cafe in, I checked the reviews and it is the nearest cafe to where I am. But the review was 2 years ago, and the little pictures, if you do a review on Google and put a picture of anything up, it's some guy putting some bits of tree in a trailer and what looks like someone's house that just says Pizza Cafe. So we'll see if it's still there. If not, like I said, I'm going to hack down some miles. But I enjoyed the entrance to that video. That was very, very, very cool. Right, let's get a few miles under our belts. Let's literally check this out in 4.6 kilometers. Hopefully grab a perfect coffee, because my vision very much is this beautiful little cafe. This is what I want anyway, with them saying bonjour, hello my lord, and we'll bring you out a perfect cup of latte or cappuccino, and I'll sit there with a beautiful freshly out the oven pan of chocolate and life will be good. That's my vision. Let's see what we get. Well, to be fair, Google Maps have taken us to something to me more looks like someone's house with a name of a beer on it, Kronenberg, but it says it does coffee, so I'm just going to go and find out if they do coffee, because from here, according to Google Maps, it's like an hour and something away to the next coffee place. So we'll find out, either breakfast here, coffee, or something on the road. Well, we've just enjoyed a nice French coffee, black coffee, grand coffee in the pub, cafe place. But like I said, the plan is to try and hack down some miles. Now I've already put in the sat nav. I need to get to Malvezy in the Pyrenees. We're going to see how many miles we can do today before we need to stop. But I've already put it in the sat nav. But it's already saying the road that I want to use to avoid going via Paris is closed. So it keeps trying to take me to Paris all the time. But we're going to just stick a waypoint somewhere or well away from Paris to avoid it and just get some miles, get along going. Now, I've already said this in the previous video, Lords don't pay, so in theory I should not have to pay for tolls if I can pull off being lordly enough, where Paul, that's joining me for a couple of days, will have to pay for tolls because he's not a lord. So we'll see how this pans out, but let's try and do some miles. I'll show you on the map what I'm trying to achieve, and I'm just going to put in a random point and just hopefully we'll get there. So my end goal of this entire leg of the trip is obviously to come right down here to a place called Malvezy in the Pyrenees, where the bike's going to be stored until I come back and then continue in Spain. But today I want to avoid Paris because it's not a fun place to ride. So I'm going to try and somehow stick a pin around here and come this way. That's my plan, but we'll see if it works. So Paul, obviously we're going to do some tolls, hopefully.
Yep.
Do you reckon I'll pay or not pay?
Oh, I reckon you might get away with it.
You reckon I'll just rock up, I'm a lord,
Yeah.
the door will
You have
open?
to talk to him in French though. That's the strange.
That's where people make the mistake. You go, oula le lord anglais, and the barrier.
There you go.
It's going to work.
It's done. It's going
It's
to
going to
work.
work.
It's going to work.
It's going to work.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
If not, underneath the barrier and go.
Yeah.
It'll be alright.
You can do that.
Yeah, it'll be alright. Right, shall we hit the road? Shall we do some miles? Let's see how this pans out. Yeah, let's go. Well, here we go. We are off. Let's get some miles underneath our belt. What I've done, I have just selected some random place on the map in the direction I really wanted to go originally to avoid Paris. It says the road's closed further down, but I reckon I'll just take some back roads and find my way around, and hey, what can go wrong? It always works out well in the end. Yeah, let's see what happens when we get to this toll road. I reckon I'm going to prove a point. I reckon I'm going to be able to pull up on the old British law of a lord never pays and just flow through every toll road. The one thing about France, from what I understand, is this is almost like how they maintain the roads. All sort of the main big major roads, like our version of a motorway, etc., is pretty much tolled. You can go around it, but I've got a lot of miles to cover. So as always, I want to hack some miles down and then find something. Oh, that's quite cool as well. Then find something cool to stop and check out. That is kind of my plan. We are currently at 11 o'clock in the morning already, so I need to get at least a good solid 2 hours of riding in now. Right, let's see how this pans out. Let's get onto the main road. Let's start doing the miles. Well, I've just managed to do about 80 kilometres so far, but what I'm finding is, because I'm in massive headwind, the Ashworth overlanding beast is doing about kind of 70 kilometres an hour to 80 on average, and sometimes getting to 90 and almost 100 downhill, but massive headwind, and every time I hit a hill trucks are flying past me, but we are still going. That's the most important thing. We're on like a motorway that's the A16 in France, and I'm pretty sure we're about to come up to our first toll road, so we'll see if this all works out. Just filled up the bike, grabbing a coffee, back on that as many miles as possible, because when I come off I want to enjoy some proper French countryside, but we need to get some miles down. Back on the bike, first toll road, we'll see how that works out. Probably get another hour or so down the road at least today, if not maybe 2 hours down the road, and then we'll get off and see if we can find something very French. Well, this is the moment, because we are coming up to a toll road, and I keep saying it, lords do not pay for tolls, but peasants do. So I have no idea which one I need, so I'm just going to go for this one. Now I need to open my visor so they can see that I am a lord. Actually, let's go for this one. Let's see how well this works. I am a lord, so this should, in theory, open. Come on. Monge 2 rods. Monge 2. Thank you very much. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is being a lord. Now behind me is Paul, who's the peasant that has no choice but to pay. Monch 2, be a lord, ride in France, you don't have to pay at a toll. It just opens for you. Oh, I love being a British lord. So many perks. Right, let's get some big miles under our belts again. I'm hoping to do probably another 100 kilometers at least before I stop for a little sip of water or something. Maybe even 150 kilometers. A good hour or so of riding is what I'm after now. Since going through the toll and it just opening up, and Paul, that's travelling with me for a couple of days, joining me on the beginning of this Helmet Hedge crazy world tour, he obviously got stuck at the toll, and just past the toll the road goes 2 different ways. But I already said to him that if I can get through the toll without paying, I'll keep going, you'll catch me up. And it's like, yeah, no problem. I was like, we can always give me a ring if you get lost, or you can and he goes, oh, it's alright, I've got the tracker. I've got live tracking link on Facebook every time I'm doing part of these legs. And so he was like, I'll find you on the live tracking. So I've kind of continued on. Now, bearing in mind that this is only a 125 and Paul is on a Honda Pan European ST 1100, he has a uber amount of horsepower. He didn't catch me up in probably about 30 kilometers, if not 40 kilometers, and then the road's closed, so it's diverted me off. Now the diversion signs, once you come off, take you sort of right back round, but Google has taken me through the French countryside, so I've lost Paul, and he's not caught me up so far. And I don't go exactly massively quick, so a lot of the time I'm probably doing about 50 miles an hour at a push, sometimes even 45. So he's yeah, I don't know where he is. Hopefully he'll find me on the tracker. I'm just going to keep I mean, look at this though, this is more like it, to be fair, to get off of the motorway, the French motorway, and see this. This is something pretty, very, 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 very pretty. Wow. I just went through a really beautiful little town that sold baguettes and pastries, and lots of people who were fat with moustaches and white hats. But now I am, out in the pretty, pretty countryside. So we'll see if Paul can find me at all, because even if he stops to look at the tracker, he then has to go again, and he'll get to that cut-off road, and he'll more than likely go, oh, he's obviously following the diversion, and cut himself a long way around. It's designed for trucks. Yeah, I just went through that little town and come out the other end, so we'll see how this pans out. Anyway, let's toodle Pip, hope he finds us. If not, the first proper day of actually being in a foreign country, a person that rode across the UK to find me, to ride with me for a few days, I've lost. It is a Helmet Head 11 out of 10 adventure. I am just winging it. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we'll see if I don't have to pay for the next toll, because if I'm right, I lift up my visor, a little bit of a cheeky wink, they see I'm a lord, I get put through. That is very cool. Anyway, let's see where this road takes us, because I have no idea how long I'm going to be on this for. Well, I've pulled over on a bit of a windy hilltop. I don't really know where I am just following the sat-nav that's routing me now all down these awesome back roads. It's still extremely pretty, but I've sent Paul a WhatsApp message just to say, look, I am where I am, do you want me to wait for you? He's obviously riding, so he's not going to see it. But what I've decided to do, because I'm sat on this hill, obviously again next to quite a busy road, but what I've decided to do is crack out some food, because I've not eaten today. We stopped for a coffee on the at that cafe, and I was hoping to get the pan of chocolate, but I didn't get the pan of chocolate because obviously it was clearly a bar, because people were still getting drunk at 9 something, 10 something, wherever it was in the morning. So what I'm basically stuck with now, is having to crack open some very sort of important healthy food again. Now this, of course, as always, is a bit of fruit, and I think it even might have a bit of nut in it as well, but either way, it's protein, it's survival food. It'll keep me going until hopefully I can find a services or something later on and get myself another coffee and a pasty. I mean, a healthy snack. Anyway, at least where I am is extremely pretty. It's a bit windy, loads of trucks going by because that road's cut off, but it's extremely pretty somewhere in France. Well, Paul just managed to find me using the helmet head tracking link. It was really cool because I thought for a second I might have gone a bit too far and he might have gone the wrong way and got lost, but he's found me and it is all good. Now it's gone proper cold and windy really quickly. It's just gone 2 in the afternoon and we've been trying to figure out which route to take still to avoid Paris because road closures. And also we then go through Rouen, I think it's called. It's a low emission zone, and obviously Paul's on an older bike and apparently you've got to pre-book some kind of sticker thing to go through or something. Anyway, what we're going to do is try, because it's a town, a city, something like that, we're going to try to avoid it again by going sort of slightly around. And I've picked like a green area using my complete and utter awesome fantastic skills. What I've done is I have put somewhere in the map there's a green area, and then we'll be able to avoid the low emissions area and end up in the green area and prettiness. Now I've then tried to put another waypoint in after that, but first of all we're going to 41 miles 51 kilometers I think to get to where I've put past Rouen. But at that point we might have to start looking at booking a hotel another hour down the road from there, so we'll see where we end up. I don't feel like I've done massive miles, but I kind of gone along and up like I wanted to do. And saying that though, we've been on the road for quite a long time, so I've probably done a decent amount of kilometers. Anyway, either way, this is going to go back down to hacking down some more miles again, hopefully. Well, we've just come off of like the motorway to try to avoid Rouen place, and we are here, I don't even know where we are, I suppose we're somewhere in the country now and we've come off, so I think this is the time to make it really cinematic, get out the 360, put some cool shots together. Hopefully the truck won't kill me, but hopefully you'll enjoy watching this bit, and then we're gonna hopefully see more and more country as well, and then kind of cut around and get back on. We're going to do about another half an hour, 40 minutes, and then we're probably going to pull over again and try to judge what we're doing. I need to hack more and more miles down, because we're going sort of up and around where I need to get going across France. So we might be in the saddle for a few more hours yet, but it's cloudy, windy, but other than that, it's all right.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go. So come what may. Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old lives.
Well, after that little bit of cinematic riding, I got down to 1 bar of fuel, so we've had to stop for a bit of splash and dash. But what I love about France is because they're very healthy, you can buy food, well, fruit, all your potatoes, from a vending machine. Look at that. Look! You pull up at the petrol station, what do you fancy? I want a big bag of potatoes, I want a medium bag of potatoes, I just want a petite bag of potatoes. And you can pay by card. You can always get your potatoes here, only in France. And if you're even more hungry, you can get a baguette from a vending machine in France. We need these in the UK. We need baguette machines. I've got no change. Have you got any change?
I haven't. Well, I've got bank coins.
Ugh. With no baguette from no vending machine today. Gutted. Well, we are back on the road, and I'm doing my best to avoid this city, Ruin, whatever it's called. I would just call it Rondo. And then, so I've tried to plot it on the map, but it keeps rerouting. But my plan is to avoid it, get somewhere, according to this, yeah, sort of 29 kilometres, and another 31 minutes. That will take us to about 4:20 and we would have avoided the city, and then from there look for a hotel at that point. That's my plan, using my awesome set of skills, my ninja stroke coordination planning skills. I reckon we'll all be good. I have no idea where we're going in reality. Come on Google, look after us. But another full tank of fuel, so we can go for about another 100 miles either way. But it is getting towards that end of the day where I'm happy to do another couple more hours, but I need to know that there's a hotel booked. So anyway, 28 kilometres, get off, book a hotel somewhere. It will all work out. It always all works out. And I love the way that Paul's just going, yeah. Whatever works, mate, whatever works. Yeah, I'm just taking him all over France down crazy roads, not having a clue. Anyway, more miles. We've got the whole of France still to get across. We've hardly done anything today. Anyway, miles, come on monkey. Good old Ashworth looking after me. Good old Ashworth. Well, the mission to avoid the city or whatever it was with the low emissions has been done. We've had a blast riding through the country, and we've come to a place called Duclair. What's got behind me, very French, patisserie or sells bread rolls, but of course it's too late to grab a roll today, or a French stick, so I might try and get that done tomorrow. But I still want to do more miles. I feel like I need to get that a little bit further. So I'm going to book a hotel. I'm going to show you on the map, and it's going to be about over an hour away still to go. It's a little bit of rain, it's starting to get dark, but it's another chunk of journey done. And sometimes you've just got to, get in and sort of hanker down and just do the miles. And today is that day. I just need to get a little bit further, just a little bit more. So we are just here in Duclair, and I'm going to do another 83 kilometres, 1 hour and 11 minutes. And we've got a hotel in Barnet, just here, Hotel Barnet I think it's called. So it's not too bad, but it is time to anchor down, turn the throttle, just get the last bit of the mileage done. And remember the most important thing, there will be a beer waiting for me when I get to the hotel. And of course, because I've got a stand-in sidekick with me, he'll go to the bar. It's all going to be good. Right, let's just hack down these miles and get there. Hopefully with a little bit of light, but I guarantee it's going to be dark.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within, calling. This heavy load got under your skin, howling.
Well, I've just arrived at the hotel, and the last probably 30-40 minutes of the ride was in the dark and toll roads and fast, but I've made it. And today we've achieved about 300 kilometres, that I think is around 200 miles again, and I'm quite happy with that, because especially sort of detoured up and went round and did a load of sort of country unplanned back roads. But some of the roads were really cool, and it's always great to go off the beaten track. Anyway, let me give you a tour around the hotel that I'm in. This is about €87 a night. It's a 3-star hotel, and it's next to sort of the main road with a restaurant, etc. But I'll give you a quick tour of the hotel, and I'll show you on the map exactly where I am. Well, this is the Acropole Hotel, and it's in a place called Barny, or French Barny, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it's alright. I think it's a bit pricey for what you get really, but typical stuff. Toilet, best looking lord in the entire world. Still looks like I've been punched in the face, and it's not going away. But yeah, everything you can expect. A nice shower, more squeegee bottles on the side of the wall, but how you can't moan. And of course a hairdryer so I can blow in the wind like this and I do it and keep me dry. It's pretty simple, to be fair. You've got a nice double bed. I'm still waiting to get a king size bed. Some storage to put your helmet and stuff on. Somewhere for me to edit. Again, a telly that I will never use because people who just sit and watch telly all day are boring. But yeah, good place to edit. Standard hotel, not too bad. So we're here. Bunny Crunchy. This is where we are at the minute. And if I zoom right out on this map, you can see obviously we started from up here today. We've come down, you know, we've gone around here through all this greenish area in France, and then we've come down to here. So around 300 kilometers, about 200 miles I reckon. But let me know in the comments what 300 kilometers is, so I don't really have a clue, but I'm sure it's 200 miles. Well, today has been a good blast, really. Starting off on the beach with something quite special. A French beach, day 2, starting the adventure in true epic 11 out of 10 style. Then, of course, finding the coffee shop that's basically a bar where people drink alcohol all day. I think we were the only two in there really drinking coffee. That was €5 for 2 coffees. It's not too bad. You must remember to say Grand coffee, otherwise you end up with basically an espresso. And then, of course, we've sort of done this weird, crazy route, but you know, it was quite good. And then, obviously, I wanted to hack down that sort of last chunk of miles. I could have stayed where I was, but just to get here, I think to get to where I'm storing the bike before I fly back, so leg 1 done. In the Pyrenees, I think from here I've still got a good 3 days solid mile munching to do. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully I can get more off of the motorways, but I have to remember I have to ride the length of France and I need to get my bike there. I've got a flight booked back on the Monday, so I need to really get my bike there to my dad's house by Sunday night, and I'm pretty sure I can do it. I really want to try and tomorrow do another load of miles and then at least have kind of like a chilled out day, but I don't know how it's going to work. But I am having the time of my life. Now, Ashworth, the Honda Monkey overlanding beast, has not skipped a beat. It's been full throttle now for 2 days pretty much straight. And yeah, I'm getting a lot of headwind, so it is slowing me down quite a bit, and it is a bit up and downy, etc, etc. But it's doing it. That little 125 with me, the most skinniest, sexiest lord in the world, and all this weight on, it's doing it. So I'm really impressed. Now what I need to do, of course, is go and get myself that victory beer, go and chill out, and then get a good night's sleep. I've got a load of footage transfer and all of that stuff. And then tomorrow is going to be kind of early-ish start. Paul that's with me, bless him, awesome guy. He's been putting up with me and I'm just going, I don't know where I'm going this way. He's been awesome, but he's having to head home. He's doing like 2.5 days obviously, and then he's got to head back, so he's got to get all the way. So we're going to hopefully stop somewhere reasonably nice for lunch tomorrow, and then I'm going to keep hacking on the miles as well. But right now I need to go and get a beer and chill out. So thank you for watching, thank you for following me on this crazy adventure. We're getting through France. We are getting there. I'm massively excited about getting into Spain and getting to Portugal and all that stuff. But this world trip, we're doing well. Day 2, we're doing well. Right, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye for now.